Miami Dolphins have restructured Bradley Chubb's contract. What does that mean? Does it mean we're on the hook for another year? Does it mean we could still move on from him next year? I'm going to talk about all that and where the Dolphins are in cap space. What is up, Fin fans? We are talking contracts, potential additions, Bradley Chubb, stuff like that. We're going to talk about a few things in today's video. But before we do that, we're talking about money. So I got to shout out today's sponsor, and that is BetUS. Fantastic betting site. It is a site, not an app, but fantastic, reliable betting site. And why am I going to do the bad things of not explaining it good, if you could tell by my words, when they can do it themselves?
BetUS, America's favorite sportsbook and casino. Live betting and racebook. We're celebrating 30 years with a historic offer. A 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Plus 10% gambler's insurance. Get started today. BetUS, where the game begins.
BetUS, fantastic site, like I said. This is how the site looks. It's very easy to use. They cover so many different sports, like table tennis, horse race, politics. They don't even cover sports. They cover politics. But I will say this, NFL, this is kind of how it works. Right now, this is what they have up for the NFL. Obviously, the draft is coming up, so you can pick by position. They have NFL specials. Who's going to go 0-17? Who's going to go 17-0? You can pick all of these things. They even have NCAA stuff, conference future, division champs, all that stuff. But when it comes to the draft, easy. You click on one, you hit display selected, you go in and you make your pick. So first quarterback selected, obviously it's going to be Caleb Williams. If it's Jordan Travis, you put a $10 bet on, you're making money. You're making lots of money. First non-quarterback selected. This one is more interesting. Obviously, Marvin Harrison Jr. is the hot bet. But maybe one of these other guys, Brock Bowers. Hopefully not. Hopefully falls to the Dolphins. So check him out and BetUS. Thank you so much for sponsoring today's video. So we're talking Bradley Chubb. And Bradley Chubb's contract was restructured. The Dolphins have restructured the contract of outside linebacker Bradley Chubb by converting $13.75 million of his base salary into a signing bonus. This move creates an extra $11 million in cap space for Miami. And what that does and what that means is a lot of people are wondering, oh, great, I didn't want them to touch his contract because I want the availability to move on from him if he doesn't get back to where he was before the injury. And I said I don't want them to restructure his contract in a way that they add more years on, they add more guarantee on, they do that stuff. The way they restructured it is they just took some of his money and they changed it into a signing bonus, and it doesn't touch the structure of the contract, and we are going to look at that. So let's go over and look at the Miami Dolphins. So the Miami Dolphins right now are $13.599 million in cap space, but big, fat, stinky butt. If you go down here, they have not equated for these signings of Shaquille Barrett, Braxton Berrios, Aaron Brewer, Jack Driscoll, Jody Fortson, Deshaun Hand, Jonathan Harris, Benito Jones, Jordan Poyer, and Isaiah Wynn. All of these guys cost about $1 million to $2 million. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Dolphins are broke. They're still broke. I understand that people see, oh, we made a move. We have money. Who are they going after? Michael Thomas? Are they going after this guy, that guy, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. No. They made this move because they have to pay these guys. They're going to make more moves. And the other move that they're going to make, because if you notice, Bradley Chubb, when I was talking about the Dolphins cap space before free agency started, before the restructuring started, if you notice, Bradley Chubb was making like 20-something million. Teron Armstead was making 20-something million. Jalen Ramsey was making 20-something million. We had a big chunk of 5 guys at the top of this list that were making $20 to $25 million. It was a lot of money. Now all of a sudden they're not. And the last two that are making mucho dinero, Tyreek Hill is making $31 million. He's the next guy who's going to get shaken down. Now, if you heard what it said, they took Bradley Chubb's base salary and converted it into a signing bonus. His base salary is now only $6 million. Base salary for Tyreek Hill is $19.6 million, rounded up to $19.7 million. They're probably going to shake him down as well and probably knock his cap hit down to maybe like $15 million, give him another $15 million, so they're sitting at 18, and they can make more moves after that. They need about, if each guy costs about $2 million, I round up, they need $20 million. So if they get another, like, if they can get to 30 something, they'll have 10 million and they can make some moves here and there. Because again, a lot of the signings they're doing is like a year to 2 years. I wonder if they will actually have their information. See, that's the problem. They don't have their information. But we know that Jordan Poyer is 1 year, 2 million. So they're cheap. They're very cheap, these guys that they're bringing in. Like Siren Neal, 1.9 million. Robert Jones came back for 1.7 million. A lot of these guys are coming back for cheap money. So you look at Bradley Chubb's contract, and a lot of people are worried, do we still have that out? Yes. Again, they just took a big portion of his money and made it into a signing bonus. So if you see there, signing bonus. So now his cap hit is lower, but the Dolphins still have an out. Now, obviously, it's not going to be a cut. It's going to be like Xavier Howard next year. If he can't produce like he did before his injury, and he was at 11 sacks, give or take, they're going to move on from him, and it'll be a post-June 1st cut. They'll save $20 million. The dead cap will be 9, and then the following 2016 will be 18.3. I'm going to round up. So they restructured it, but they didn't because they're still the out. So I'm good with it. Hopefully he comes back and plays like he did beforehand with the ACL injury. But they didn't touch it in a way that we're kind of screwed and we're stuck. It's still the same way, and it's the same. They did the same thing. I showed you the tweet that I was going off of. It's the same way they did with Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey, it's the same out. He still got his money, but now the same out. Post-June, we have an out there. And I'm going to talk about all this. I'm going to kind of, maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after, talk about where the Dolphins are sitting at with their 2025 cap space. Because there's a lot of moves that they can do, but a good portion of the moves that they can do entail post-June 1st cuts. Like, they could save a ton of money, but it's post-June 1st cuts. So I'll talk about it. I'll talk about that in another video. And one other thing I do want to talk about before we get out of here is Jalen Phillips. This man is just killing it. I think he's going to be ready for the start of the season. Like David said, Jalen Phillips advanced into pool workouts as he continues to chronicle his journey and rehab of his torn Achilles. Like this, I think he's gonna be ready for the start of the season. This man is a beast. Absolute beast. I can't wait. Hopefully, again, if we can get him and Bradley Chubb back to where they were, because towards the end of the season, they caught fire. And especially with Anthony Weaver's defense, and Anthony Weaver being a D-line coach and, coaching some of these guys up and playing himself, to have the three of them back, three of them meaning we have Shaquille Barrett now, I think that our pass rush would be ridiculous, and I think it would help also with the guys we have on the back end. And then in the passing coverage, we have Brooks. It just needs to pan out that these guys come back healthy. Now, I personally think that Jalen Phillips will come back at worst week 2, week 3. But I'm hearing things about Bradley Chubb that the ACL injury is a little bit more severe than led on to be. Again, this is just rumors, so take it with a grain of salt. But he might be back a little later. But if we can get both these guys back at full speed, full strength, especially for when we need them at the end of the season, it's going to be dangerous. But comment below, let me know what you guys think. Again, we have cap space now, but we don't because we still have to pay those 10 guys that haven't been paid yet, even though they signed their contract. Like, it's a lot of math and a lot of moving parts. So the Dolphins will be making more moves. And again, there's Tua Tagovailoa's contract. He's making $23 million. They extend him. Then all of a sudden we have more money there. So, and then $18.5 million after June 1st. I'm not worried about the cap. Brandon Shore got this thing laid down perfectly fine. I'm not worried about the cap. But comment below. Let me know what you guys think. If there's any more news today, I'll make a video. But on that, like usual, stay classy and fins out.